Hello! Are we good? I think we're good. We had a
We're
little
so good at this.
scramble there. We Enyo unfortunately he was unable to join us tonight, so we were. Oh, I didn't quite get it perfectly, Olive, but I almost did. It's okay. I'm fixing
What's
you
not
now.
perfect? It
I'm
looks great.
fixing you now. You're gonna look even more beautiful. There we go.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyways, hi. Welcome back to Story Reckless. Yes, unfortunately, Enyo is unable to join us tonight. They are somewhere in Grand Canyon, I think. I don't know. So we scrambled. Thank you, Olive, for doing that, and quickly put together new frames, and then I had to arrange them, and it was great. Oh, my camera also is a little messed up. I'm gonna fix that really quick because it's bothering me. But yeah, thank you everybody for being here tonight. We're gonna jump right into this. Why don't we start with who I am? I'm Nathan, I'm the DM here, and I use he, him pronouns, and this is Story Reckless and players.
I'm Claire. My name is nope. I'm Claire. My name is also Claire. My pronouns are they, them. I'm playing Kadam, half-elf grave cleric.
And my name is Olive. I use she and they pronouns, and I will be playing Calliope, Air Genasi old lady and artificer.
Indeed, and I'm also gonna have to figure out what Pip can do, so that's gonna be fun to figure out. But before we do that, let's
Step one.
Step one.
Cast expeditious retreat and just books it.
There we go.
Yes, indeed. I bet I could figure out roughly what Pip's like spell save and attack is based on their like passive perception and things like that. I could probably figure it out. All right.
Spell save DC is 13, I think.
That probably makes sense. Their passive investigation is 15, so that because they had a +2 and int +3, so yeah, 13. Okay. Spell save 13, attack, spell attack +5.
Five.
Cool. We did it.
We're doing great.
I'm gonna write that
Collaborative
down.
process here.
Oh man. Spell attack +5. Sweet. Cool. All right, let's do this, shall we? Cool.
We shall.
It's like old times. All right. Last we left off, our protagonist had just crossed one of the bridges of Torm's Reach. They had defeated a group of a group of devils that were guarding this bridge. As you all pushed across the bridge, though, Calliope had kind of a flashback to these bridges in particular with their old, it seemed to be a mentor or a colleague of some kind. And Calliope remembered that these bridges had a ward on them that if you did the proper sort of divine ritual, you could activate a ward that would ward off fiends and undead. So Calliope and Pip working together set up essentially a trap with a magic mouth spell to activate this ward if any fiends were to cross the bridge. However, as they were doing this, Kadam spotted a patrol of devils across the gorge moving in the direction of all of you. Finishing the spell and getting the trap set up and in place, you all booked it, but Calliope in the last second threw the devil prisoner that you had captured over the side so that you could all get out of there quickly. And this body tumbled off over the side into the gorge and then far, far below down into the plains of Avernus and the river Styx. They're probably fine. Fleeing up towards High Hall, you found yourselves hiding amongst the ruins in this district as this devil patrol passed by, unable to find you. Pushing through towards High Hall, another quake hit, and you heard a building up the street collapse in, and rushing towards it, heard voices underneath. Working as a team, you managed to free the individuals that were trapped inside and discovered 3 dwarves. Appeared to be a dwarven man and 2 dwarven women. The man going by the name of Stroven, and the two women were his sisters, Kartra and Velcora. Rescuing them, they revealed to you that High Hall had recently been attacked, besieged by devils. They fled in the chaos and were hiding in this building when it collapsed. They also revealed that the small contingent of dragoons, these constructs that Calliope uses to get around what she, I would say, affectionately refers to as Big Dummy, these chicken walker constructs, they appear to have all the ones guarding High Hall deactivated when Elturel was pulled into Avernus. Who knows why? Approaching High Hall, you saw its ruins. Calliope, you expecting to see the 5 triumphant towers of the Alabaster Castle, only saw, I believe it was 2 of them remaining? 2? Yes. No, 3. There were 3 of them. 3 of the towers remaining. 2 of the main towers that had collapsed in, you knew were the part of the castle where all of the offices were for the officials and high priests of Elturel. Not boding well. And looking through the ruined gates, you saw bodies strewn out in the courtyard, and at the entrance to the main cathedral, there were 2 hellish-looking beasts, canine in their form, glowing eyes, heat seeming to emanate from their mouths, and these dog-like creatures perched themselves there on the front steps, one of them gnawing at a dead body by its side. So, this is where we're going to pick up. And let's see, can I switch us to the proper scene? I did it. Awesome. And it looks like we're good. Okay, cool. Oh yeah, right. Sorry, y'all, you are on a different map. Claire, can you confirm for me that is your new token working? We got a new token for Kadam, and we also...
New art.
Yes, we have new art for Kadam. I forgot to say that at the top of the show. Look at the beautiful art on the screen there where Claire's portrait is, and you can see Kadam there drawn up by, is it Jesse, right? This is the artist?
Jesse Arbor.
Jesse Arbor, yes. Jesse has done such a wonderful job with this art. We're so very pleased.
I'm so happy.
Yeah. It's so awesome.
Like, I saw it and I was just, oh, that's Kadam.
Yeah.
That's them.
Yep.
Yes, it is wonderful. So, with that though, you all are here at the front gates to High Hall. Well, you're hiding off in the buildings off to the side, looking through. What would you all like to do?
Take a look around.
Yeah, go ahead and make a perception roll for me.
Enormous D20. That's cocked. Okay, let's try that. Oh, okay. So that's a 2, 6.
6. I mean, I think you... Well, I don't know, actually, Calliope, do you point out the 2 creatures at the front entrance to everybody?
I think so. It's just like, but like maybe I do like hand motions. Like I've slipped into like I'm in the same place as before. I'm in the like place where I'm always around like other like Hell Riders. So it's just like hand motion, like stop, quiet, 2 enemies over there, and like I'm communicating.
Rhea immediately picks
Yeah.
up and like pushes off to the side and gets into cover. Yeah, Kadam, I don't think you really notice
Recognize
Calliope
what
doing this.
Calliope is. Yeah, I recognize the Calliope is communicating something.
I mean, I think, hey, Calliope points in a direction. I would assume you could at least follow that. So looking in that direction, you do see just barely through the gates. I'd say you just catch one of these creatures through the gates of the courtyard, but that's all you see.
Yeah, no other living creatures, no other moving creatures.
No.
Right.
I'm gonna, I think, turn to maybe the woman that we initially encountered. Or just
Harkina?
like any of the survivors. And I think God will be like, hey, you recognize those those four-legged friends
Oh, good question.
of a dark demeanor?
Yeah, let's see if I'm just gonna do like a fate roll. Harkina, she kind of shakes her head. No, I haven't encountered anything like that. Not on the side of the city where we were all hiding. Strovan kind of cautiously comes up next to you and peers through and looks. Oh, I caught a glimpse of them, but I have no idea what they're capable of. And he kind of looks back to his sisters. They both shake their heads no. Velcora kind of gets in close to you, Calliope, and like peers over your shoulder, kind of getting up on her toes. I haven't seen anything like that. And then just kind of retreats back. So none of them recognize what these are.
Can I try to make a religion roll?
Yeah,
with my infernal
absolutely.
studies?
Yes, you can.
Never mind.
An 8? Yeah. This not ringing a bell in any of the studies you've done.
Most of the infernal folks I studied it was more of a literature kind of review kind of situation. It didn't really get into the bestiaries.
All right. I still can find Lightward if we want to. Do you want to just start walking around?
I'd rather not tangle with them if we can help it. There might be another entrance around the back. Do I know if there's another entrance around the back?
That is a good question. Go ahead and make a history check for me.
Hell yeah, history. My background gives me proficiency in this. 22.
22. I'm gonna say yes, that there is, I mean, I would, like, historically, I don't know castles that well, but I think historically castles tend to have, like, they will sometimes have other entrances, like, access points, right, that are, like in, my only reference I have really is in Lord of the Rings, the little like side thing that they go out of, and he like throws Gimli. So I would say, yeah, you know that around the back on one of the like at the base of each tower there is a really well reinforced door that kind of leads out, very tiny, and the pathway to get to it is, you know, very precarious and narrow. So only if anybody were to invade, they would have to go single file to get to these doors. So yeah, you would know that there's 2 at the back side of the castle, but based on the damage, one of them is clearly been destroyed in all the rubble. So there's likely 1 left, and you would know that it would likely be locked as well. So you would have to try to find a way in, but you could certainly try.
We can handle picking some locks, I think.
Okay.
Okay, well, we don't know if we're about to be walking into a death trap or a sanctuary. I don't know if we should bring these folks in, Kidan.
Well, what do you all want to do? We're decently well armed. That could be an advantage or disadvantage being with us.
Harkina kind of looks down at her 2 boys and looks up at the 2 of you, or yeah, the 3 of you, 4 of you.
5 of us.
5 of you. Right, Lulu. Looks up at the 5 of you. She goes, I think it would be best if we hole up in here, and she gestures to the building next to you. If you can come find us when things are safe.
We'll do our best. It might be mental.
Oh.
If you're comfortable with that. I can talk in your head and you can respond.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I can do that. Strovan and Kartra, Strovan goes, yeah, I think it would be best if we stay with Harkina. Velcora kind of steps forward, though, and she goes, Strovan, I gotta go in there. I can at least lend some help. With Moradin's aid, I'm sure I can lend a hand. Strovan kind of looks. Velcora, please, we just barely survived getting out of there. I know, and it didn't sit right with me. I really should be getting in there. Please. And she kind of grabs this small anvil that's attached to a little chain around her neck. All right. Fine, whatever you want. I don't agree with it, though. I never usually don't agree with what you do, but it's fine. She turns and faces you all. I have a little bit of connection with Moradin. I can provide a bit of aid, and especially if you find anyone who's hurt, I can help you there.
Excellent.
Fantastic. Glad to have you.
Yeah.
She kind of smiles, and you just for the first time are noticing that, like, off to one side, she's just completely missing a tooth and has this big gap in her smile. Yeah, I'm happy to help.
See, this Kidam, this is why I love Elturel. Folks are capable, and they want to help. Good to be back. I mean, under present circumstances.
Yeah, I wish things were a bit better, that's for sure.
Hey, we'll get there. Okay, the rest of you, here. And I'm gonna tinker. I think, like, what's a good symbol of the city? I think, like, I'm gonna have a little tower with, just like a little, like a cuckoo clock coming out of it. I'm trying to think of, like, maybe a dragoon, actually, just like a little dragoon pops out.
Okay.
Every minute or so. So this is my magical tinkering.
Yeah. The little devices you can make, right?
Little device.
Yeah.
I'm like, if this stops working, that means I'm dead.
They all kind of look down
if you
at
don't
this
hear
little
anything from
mechanical dragoon. Strovan kind of looks up.
Oh, okay, that's pretty grim, but good. Good.
Either I'm dead or I've gotten bored and I've needed to redirect some of my energies elsewhere.
Right. All right.
And the two young boys are kind of looking wide-eyed at this little mechanical dragoon that's kind of rocking back and forth, and is it almost like a little, just like kind of does a perpetual motion or something, or
yeah, like I'm thinking like a vibe, not literally, but like one of the like little drinking birds.
Yeah, that's kind of yeah. So this little dragoon kind of and the two kids are fascinated by it, but Harkina and Strovan kind of give you a brisk nod, and then they kind of lead the kids into the building with Kartra following behind.
So we got big dummy, we got little dummy, and then we got
tiny dummy.
Tiny dummy. That's tiny dummy right there. You take good care of him, kids. Can you do that for me?
The 8-year-old's like, yeah, definitely.
Okay, we're counting on you.
All right. So you all want to go around the back? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say for this, don't worry about a stealth check because you're able to get out of the view line of sight from that gate easy enough, and start working your way around the precarious trail, this paved path that leads around the backside of the castle. It is, relatively well made, but it's a bit treacherous, and there are parts where parts of the path have completely collapsed in from all of the chaos that has happened. So I would like you all to just make straight dex rolls for me as you traverse this path.
16
Okay.
for me,
Pip.
and 13 for Rhea.
Excellent.
14 for Calliope.
Pip got a 19. Okay. Excellent. And that's every... Oh, and Velcora. Okay. What is Velcora's stats? I have it here. What?
I'm just so happy that Velcro is the one coming with us.
Why? Because it was Velcro.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Just a straight roll. Nice. Okay. And obviously Lulu does not need to roll as she flutters along with you all. You continue to push around the backside of the castle. This truly is, I think, the first time that you get an unobstructed view, a 180 view of your surroundings. As you push along this, the wall of the castle with this precarious cliff face just dropping down before you, going down, 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 and then drops off into nothing. And then far below is that hellish landscape with writhing bodies and mortal combat with the dark river Styx winding through. And now you can see the river Styx just extending off far, far, far into the horizon, where you see that orange blood red sky with the streaks of meteors every once in a while dotting the landscape. You start to see other things far off in the landscape, just like massive ruins protruding up out of the landscape like claws of darkness. You can see now to the east and west of you on the map. There is no sun to speak of that you can see. There's just this ambient light everywhere. But to the east and west of you can now see more of those massive like bolts that are into the side of this floating rock with the infernal chains linking to kind of stretched out tightly going down far, far below to the ground. And you can see they are attached to what appear to be these gigantic metallic infernal towers that are pulsing with these sort of vein-like runes of fiery red that run up them. And at the bottoms of them, you can see multiple structures kind of forming what look to be like defensive bastions. And there are figures writhing and moving down there as well. And these massive towers, I guess not right now. Yeah, they're just there, affixed to the ground with the chains tightly pulling down to them. And you see two of them at the moment from the perspective you're at. Why not? Why don't you both make perception rolls for me again as you stand here above looking out over the Avernon landscape?
7.
This is what you see, Kadam.
Oh, that's 20. 24.
Okay.
I used to come out here a lot. Just look at the countryside. It's a nice spot. And see the whole city.
Yeah, you can.
Calliope, you looking out, there's something that catches your eye as you look down at the battle that's raging below. Something that is, you realize in perspective, it's a bit closer and it's moving fast. Something flying. So it's why it catches your attention. I think for a moment there's that sort of drop in your stomach where you're worried it may be that nightmare figure that you saw hovering above the city. But this figure is different. You clearly see that it is not a horse-like shape, and there aren't the flames rocketing off the back of it as it moves through the air. What you see above the battle, wielding...
Is it our girl?
You see...
Not at this point.
You see a creature...
Okay.
Flying above the battle, and they seem to kind of arc upwards, and sort of into like a hovering position. It is a large bipedal figure, massive wings that beat the air as it kind of pushes itself up into position. This figure is probably a good 300, 400 feet away, down sort of like above the battle itself. And they are wielding what appears to be a massive battle standard that's rising above them. You can't quite make out what the heraldry is. This figure has huge bat-like wings. They have these massive horns. They are rippling with muscle and a big whipping tail that kind of rides out behind them. You just barely catch as they kind of as they sort of wheeled around with this heraldry, that there are pinpricks of burning light where the eyes are, and the brow has multiple kind of ridges of bone and horn rising up. But this figure is floating above the battle with this heraldry, calling out, and you can just barely hear. You can't really make out what they're saying, but you can tell it's coming from that figure. You hear the shouts of commands being shouted as they're floating above the battle. And you suddenly see almost a surge, a push of one side of the forces getting lurched into the other, pushing this other writhing mass down closer to the banks of the river Styx. With a natural 20, though, as you spot that, your eyes kind of drift up to the horizon, following the line of the river Styx as it goes out into seeming infinity, out into the distance. And far out on the horizon, just barely perceptible, you catch this massive shape. It must be huge because you're seeing it from so far away. It's almost like a blade of dark obsidian, but it's floating above the landscape. And you can see, like, through the dust and the smoke, periodically down by the base of it, there's just these kind of like arcs of reddish orange lightning kind of, and it's moving very slowly, but it is moving along the banks of the river Styx. And those are the things you see.
This is what I'm here for, Nathan.
All right. Is it moving towards us?
You can't really tell. It's kind of moving. I would say.
Does it have like smoke trails behind it so I can see it moving over time? Like looking at airplanes?
It's very far away.
Okay.
It doesn't quite have that. I would say this. It's at an angle because the river Styx kind of like bends and winds. It seems to be following kind of the contours of the river, and it seems to be almost like moving from right to left, right? Like because it's at a point in the river that's sort of at that angle. So yeah, it doesn't seem to necessarily be coming directly towards you.
Got it. Cool. Just wondering if that represents a timer for us. Who knows? Probably don't want to be here when that shows up, if it does.
Yeah. Do you point it out?
What are you looking at?
I got good eyes.
Rhea kind of looks at you. Do you see something, Calliope?
Yeah, there's a big death fortress way out there. Big obsidian blade coming along the river.
She kind of
see. It's like the thing where you look at the horizon and there's like a flash of light, right? It's very hard to see. You should eat more carrots.
As she points in that direction, Kadam, you kind of follow the direction of her pointing. You do see it. It's very. It takes a moment, but you do see that shape far off in the distance.
You saw a flash right there? I think that's lightning.
All right. Yeah. Big obsidian blade. I have no idea, Calliope. We've established that I know nothing about devils.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, Calliope, you can make another religion roll if you want.
Sure, if it's free.
I mean, yeah, religion rolls tend to usually be free.
12.
Yeah, you're not sure what that is.
Bad news. I know well enough.
I will say this though: the creature below, above the army. With your background and with the 12, you would know that is likely a pit fiend, which is
big boy.
Essentially the top rank that you can achieve as a devil, just below.
Hey, Gargath, friend of yours?
Pip is standing there with the shield on her back, kind of looking out, and then you hear that voice creep into your mind. Does Gargouth know that pit fiend? Well, actually, Gargouth can't see that pit fiend. I'm afraid
right.
I can't see what you're looking at or referring to. But there's many of us down here. I probably don't know who you're talking about.
Well, we'll ask if it comes up. In more ways than one. If it comes up here, and then the situation will arise in which we will ask you. Anyway, let's get going.
Yeah, you push forward just a little more, probably about another 50 feet or so, and you come around the base of the turret and see that reinforced door. And above it, you can see there's murder holes directly above this door. No creatures there at the moment, but the door is a very big, heavy wooden door with iron bands, big, heavy-duty lock.
Can I give a good listen at the door?
Yeah, make a perception roll for me.
7.
You
I have only rolled 2s and 3s tonight.
you play. Are you
Wait, no,
using
we-
the new dice?
Yeah.
Oh no!
Wait, we did good on the dex roll.
You did.
Oh, that's
yeah.
right. I
Yeah.
rolled 16.
That's
Yeah.
true. You place your ear up against the door, and unfortunately, the sound of the battle below is just at this position you're at. It's just too loud and overwhelming to make out anything on the other side.
Yeah, I'm not hearing anything.
I'd send in a little dummy, but rest in peace.
Oh,
Sis.
I
Yeah.
can send in Gilder if we want. And Pip will pull out Gilder as Gilder scurries down. Sure, I'll have Gilder climb in. Do you have the homunculus stats? Or are they
Yes.
on which dice?
I don't think they're on which dice because they're not in the monster manual.
Oh, no.
I can send you a screenshot real quick.
Or you could just roll for me if you'd like, if you have it.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Just roll a straight, I guess acrobatics check, just to see if Gilder can squeeze under the...
Okay, I think that's just +2.
Okay.
Straight 10.
Straight 10? Yeah, Gilder is able to and sort of like shoot under the door with the pressure. You kind of hear like a pink, ting, ting. Well, I guess you don't because the battle's so loud. But Gilder just pops under. And Pip sits there for a moment. He says it's fine. Doesn't see
And,
anything.
Can you open it from that side, buddy?
She sort of thinks for a moment, and then looks back. I don't think Gilder quite has those skills. He's not going to be able to do that with his little legs.
Well, you with your big legs not be able to.
I could try. Usually I use tools for that, though. I don't know about kicking it down.
I meant no. Yeah, tools. You
But
just
you
have
store
to
in your
have
legs.
bigger legs. Yeah.
I see.
She reaches into her boots of holding and pulls out the thieves' tools. Calliope, you want to help me with this one?
Gladly.
I don't know what her stats are for lockpicking, so Calliope, do you happen to have proficiency in thieves' tools?
I mean, all artificers have
Have
all
it, that's right.
proficiencies,
Yeah.
Basically.
So, well, I know that her dex is based on her saving throw. She has no bonuses, so.
Okay, well, I have +2 in dex, so maybe it makes more sense for
you
me
should
to make the
probably
roll.
do it. Yeah.
Okay, so again, since it's not on the character sheet, we always have to do math for this. It's 2 from the dex.
And then your proficiency bonus.
Twice.
Because you have the expertise.
Yeah.
Thing. Yeah, so that is a +8.
8.
8.
Plus 8.
Plus
And I'm not currently wearing my gloves, so it's not +18.
But oh right, yeah. But Pip's giving you advantage.
Okay. 19.
19. Okay. So Calliope, you spend a minute here trying to get through pushing, and it is just not quite. You're not quite finding
Not
the
quite there.
tumblers.
I have one more flash of genius.
It's up to you. You feel like you're almost there, but it's
Okay,
just
I'm gonna
not
flash
quite.
of genius it then.
Okay,
Let's-
and that brings
let's-
it up
let's
to
bump it
a
23, I believe.
23. Okay. What do you do with? How does your flash of genius?
My
kick
flash
in?
of genius is. Oh wait,
Oh
we left the
wait!
key. We left the key under the doormat. Darndest thing. Wait, no, okay, it's not under the doormat. Gilder, there should be a key hanging.
That's
I
fine.
think
Yeah.
it's-
Okay.
I think it's hanging on the lock over there. Just pull it off and just slide it under, can you?
Calliope's like, or sorry, Pip is like leaning over, like kind of sweating at this point, trying to help you with this, and then just looks up and gives you this look. Are you serious? There's been a
I'm
key-
sorry, it's been a while. Usually I just like knock and old Jeremy like opens the door and like brings out some like tea and little sandwiches.
She closes her eyes, and Calliope, even despite the sound of the battle, you swear you hear almost like a disgruntled whistle on the other side. And Gilder does something on the other side, and then same thing. You sort of see like a little bit of glint of metallic light catch something as it's being shoved under the door, and then punk, and it pops out. Kind of skids across the ground, does not go over the edge.
Right, get it.
Yeah, you're able to grab it and slot that key in and unlock the lock and step inside.
Well, we are all out of flashes of genius.
Yes, you are. Stepping through, you find yourself in the base of this turret. There are kind of weapon racks that are fallen over. There's a couple of errant weapons that are scattered across the ground. You do see one body slumped against a door. Yep.
Detect magic.
No magic in the room.
Right.
And you just see there's, a stone spiral staircase that goes up to the top of this turret and likely to the tops of the walls. And then there's another door that is actually busted in, like scattered across the ground, that leads outside into the interior courtyard of this space. However, you are on the other side of the cathedral, away from the entrance. Now, unfortunately, Calliope, you would know there is only the one big main entrance into the cathedral. Not built very safely, if I think about it, for emergency reasons. But there is only the one big entrance. However, looking as you kind of peer outside, there are all of these massive windows, these beautiful stained glass windows, all completely shattered at this point. But there are defensive, like gates, like not gates, but like they swing outwards, but they've been closed and locked, like bars, defensive bars that can swing open. They are all currently closed, so you see these like defensive bars over the shattered windows, I guess on the other side of the shattered windows. How does that work, actually? Sorry, I'm like thinking about the logistics of how this structure
It's
is
just like
built.
window shutters, but with like.
No, I
hinges.
know, but if there's stained glass windows, I guess the stained glass windows could open somehow. Whatever, it doesn't matter.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm thinking about.
Oh.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
It's like window shutters for a window that. Well, maybe.
All I
it's-
know is that it
you
says
need it dark in there, so it's like actual window shutters
Well,
and also defensive bars.
Let me read this, because there is a thing specifically about the windows. So hold on, let me find it, and I'll see what it says, and maybe it doesn't make sense.
It would not be beyond Wizards of the Coast.
The windows are covered by defensive shutters, and you would know this, Calliope, that they are latched from within, and they swing outward on iron hinges. So I don't know how the windows themselves work. These shutters must be on the outsides of the windows, and the windows themselves must have the ability to open inwards, I guess, if that makes
No,
sense.
maybe I'm saying that the glass
Mhm.
glass windows might not open or close, and they actually just like close
Mhm.
to stop like the sun if you need like a candlelit vigil or something in there.
Maybe. Doesn't matter. All the windows are shattered, and there's these defensive iron shutters that cover the windows. So you would know that could be one way to get in. Another way you could potentially get in, you would have to somehow climb the side of the cathedral to get up top, and you can see looking up at the cathedral. The cathedral is kind of like the main entrance to High Hall. And to get to all the offices and things like that, you have to go through the cathedral all the way towards the back, like kind of off to the sides, and there are these big grand staircases that go up into where all the offices and those things are, and that's all collapsed in. But the main cathedral that kind of extends out from there, there is an upper level of the cathedral that has, let me look, it has exposed like turrets that are open to the air. So theoretically, if you were to climb the walls, you could get up to there and climb through. So those are your kind of, if you don't want to go through the main entrance, you could try to get through the defensive shutters by unlocking them or breaking them or whatever you want to do, or climb the side of the building and get up to the top there.
I'm sorry, the main entrance is open or closed right now?
Main entrance is open. There's just the two creatures that are guarding
in front of it, right?
So you could also, you would just have to confront them or get them to move or whatever. But yeah.
But like we did all this work to get in without being detected, so might as well continue.
I mean, you got into the courtyard without them noticing you. So.
Can I, at the very least, straighten out the body that's in here? Are they... Rhea, Calliope, do you recognize this person?
Looking down, you don't. They are wearing, a guard uniform of the Hell Riders. Low ranking, but yeah.
All right.
Can we tell how they died?
Make a medicine check.
Hey, Kidam! Can you tell how they died?
Probably. 18.
18? You, looking at the body, you can see, as you start to poke around, you can see big spines sticking out of the chest with scorch marks around the puncture wounds. You suspect it's from one of those winged spine
one of the
devil
purple
creatures.
ones.
Yeah.
It's like this person's impaled with pills. I'm just like, how did this person die? No.
Oh, the giant spikes sticking out of the body.
Is there anything useful that might be in this tower? I see weapons lying around. Might there be something magical for Rhea around here? Or I don't know, equipment that might be helpful?
Make an investigation roll for me.
I am still looking at Calliope and Rhea here, but
Yeah,
that ain't bad.
You help with that? I'll be like, oh yeah, I think there's some stuff over, sometimes there's a stash back there.
17.
17. Looking around, you really only find mundane weapons and arms in the base of this tower, unfortunately.
Some more arrows for Rhea, maybe.
Oh yeah, you could find some arrows, yeah, or some bolts rather.
I have not been keeping track of her ammunition.
That's okay. Don't worry.
All right, should we try and look in the windows at least? See what we can see?
Sure. I mean, kind of the two paths I see are climbing. That seems easiest and least likely to attract attention. Or if you wanna try calling up Gideon and seeing if we're on even a fool's errand.
I would like that. I would like to do that before any of us get hurt.
That sounds good to me.
So I'm going to cast Locate Person and ask for the nearest High Rider.
The nearest High Rider. Okay.
What are the rules of succession for Hell Riders?
Yeah.
Like, might I be the High Rider now?
Right. Oh boy. Okay, I gotta look something up. You're looking for the
Okay.
nearest High Rider.
Within 1,000 feet.
Okay.
How much is
I
a
would
1,000 feet?
say High Rider. Oh man, that is such like a specific title that I think only Gideon holds.
By design.
Yeah. And it's 1,000 feet. This is the
Yeah,
thing.
so I should get the entirety of the...
Yeah. You focus in and cast this spell to find the nearest High Rider. Nothing pings.
There is no High Rider within High Hall.
That is disappointing. That's disappointing.
Yeah.
Does it tell you if it's like a living or dead kind of situation? Like
No. If he were undead, I believe it would ping him just the same. If he's dead, I don't think it would do anything.
Okay.
I can keep this up for 10 minutes, so I'll keep it up as we go along, unless we just want to leave and try something entirely different.
Do I know if there's any like magic masking things within High Hall? Like some kind of inner sanctum that blocks divinations?
Yeah, what are the specifics on locate person?
Let me...
Is it because it can be blocked by some stuff, right?
Yes.
I would say, yeah, I'm gonna give a lot of this stuff to you, Calliope, because of your background.
I am integrated with the setting.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. So, oh boy, this is interesting. I'll say this. For the cathedral, yes, you know that there are, not necessarily stuff that blocks divination, but you know that there are areas within the cathedral that have very strong connections to divine power, specifically to Torm. This entire cathedral is built to Torm. And that some of the altars do have the ability to like bestow folks with, with power, divine power within the temple itself. You also are aware, you are aware that there are catacombs underneath the cathedral. I don't know if you've necessarily been under there. I'm gonna say, let's have this be a dice roll, just a straight fate roll. So just roll like a d20 for me.
17.
17. Oh boy.
How much do you want to give away for free?
I know. Well, let me ask you this.
Uh-huh.
Would Calliope have ever... Do you think Calliope would ever have had a reason to go down into the catacombs?
I think it depends on what's in the catacombs. Like, I think my... Calliope has shown an interest in, like, architecture for architecture's sake before. So I think if someone's like, hey, you want to go down to, like, some secret tunnels? Calliope would be like, hell yeah, I do. Let's go.
All right. Yeah, there are things in the catacombs that may be of interest to Calliope. So, okay. I'm gonna give this to you, and I think it makes sense. for you to have this. So
But probably not like officially. So if there's like official secrets, it was more of a like urban exploration kind of vibe.
okay, well, so you know that there are catacombs under the cathedral. However, the entrance to them is not known. It is not something that is like known to the public or easily accessible. I think that Glim took you down there to show you around. I think he was excited to show you what was underneath the cathedral. You didn't necessarily see how he did it, but he went into the main space of the cathedral. It's like escaping me right now, the term for it. The central altar in the middle of the cathedral. You saw him interact with. There is a giant wooden, a teakwood fist, a gauntleted hand that is clenched into a fist that rests atop this altar, that you do know can articulate itself if the right kind of, just like the bridge, if the right like divine scriptures are stated and words are stated, it will open up. I'm sorry. No, it opens via a lever. This is actually probably the first thing that Glim showed you, because it's all mechanical. The fist can open mechanically, but if it is interacted with the right scripture, the right like words, it can bestow power to an individual. But you saw him interact with the altar and interact with the fist specifically. You didn't see exactly what he did, but upon interacting with it, the bottom of the fist, this was like after hours, the bottom of base of this altar, sort of like a accordion almost, like a like the stone, something went and turned into a staircase, revealing an entryway that went down into the catacombs below, and he led you down there. And you know that down there are things, there are secrets, there's vaults, there's little crypts and temples.
Okay. Dom, it's a secret. Again, say secrets ain't worth nothing at this point, but there's a bunch of catacombs beneath the cathedral. There's like sanctums and stuff, and some of them might be blocking divinations. I don't know how deep they go. They could have retreated more than out of range of this spell of yours. I think it might be worth checking out. But I could be dissuaded.
I mean, my only other idea here is to find my friend, and I doubt she will have any political information.
Okay. I would like to check out the catacombs then, if we can.
All right.
It's probably where I would go, honestly, if the keep was lost. It's a last stand sort of situation.
I will follow you.
Okay. How are we going to get into this? Feel like climbing? Feel like breaking and entering and making a bunch of noise?
Oh. If we have rope or something, I would be willing to climb.
I'm sure we have rope. It would be wild if we didn't have rope. Yeah, I got 50 feet of rope.
Oh, I have 100 feet of rope.
Ooh.
That I bought in Candlekeep.
Okay.
Well, dummy, rest in peace. I could use your flight right now.
Gilder leaps out as Pip goes, Gilder seems pretty excited. I mean, he could try to drag that rope up top and affix it to something.
Gilder,
Sure.
our life is in your hands.
How
Quiet.
tall is the cathedral? I imagine it's more than 150 feet.
Let me find that information for you. So, the balcony, that is the point of access that you know of, Calliope, is the balcony. And the balcony So the balcony is only 30 feet above the courtyard itself.
Oh,
And then
easy.
the towers extend probably another 50 feet up from there. So it's not terribly tall.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will toss 50 feet of rope in Gilder's direction.
Okay, Gilder will Gilder will use 2 of the little spider legs in front to kind of grab onto the rope and just start like dragging it across the ground. And this is like a probably a 10-minute long process as Gilder slowly, you just watch as the rope just like slowly gets dragged up the side of this stone building. All of you standing there waiting, hearing the sounds of battle muffled in the distance. Every once in a while you hear strange devilish sounds off in the distance of the city and a rumble as you just watch this little coin dragging this rope up the side of this building and then disappearing on the other side of this balcony. And it's a little precarious because
we're gonna give it to Lulu.
yeah,
Oh.
Lulu's just floating there like he looks at all of you and goes, wow, that little coin can really just drag a lot of weight. It's remarkable. Just continuing to float there, like completely oblivious, as all of you watch. And it's a little precarious because this balcony is kind of like overlooking the main entrance where you know those creatures are waiting, but you're just enough off to the side that Gilder's able to pull the rope over and eventually you watch as the rope slowly coils around like a little crenellation, like a little stone piece. Again, another 5 minutes go by as Gilder like has to tie it in the slowest way possible because he's so tiny. But eventually,
I think during this 15 minutes,
what do you do in this 15 minutes?
Velcora
Mm-hmm.
how long the city has been down here.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Wonderful question.
Oh my god.
Velcora looks to you. To be honest, sense of time down here is really hard to keep track of. I've barely managed, all of us have barely managed to feel the sense of sleep wash over us maybe twice, just fallen asleep from exhaustion. So I suspect we've only been down here maybe 4 days at most. It's hard to say.
All right. Time's moving differently upstairs.
What do you mean?
It's going faster. You've been gone almost a month.
Well, I guess we are in hell. Morden, you better get me out of this. And do you want to ask her anything else?
That was the main question.
Okay. The rope is eventually pulled tight, and you now have a rope extending down the side of the building. It is a little precariously close to the entrance, so for this to you're not gonna have to make a roll to climb, but I will like you all to make stealth checks as you have to cut across the courtyard to get over to that rope and climb up.
I'm gonna guide myself.
Okay.
Oh dear. Oh, where are we?
Lulu. Wait, Lulu. I'm not gonna have Lulu make a stealth check because she's gonna. I guess I'll see you up there.
Wait!
It flies up.
And just stunned silence.
Yeah, so the realization. Can you roll for Rhea for me?
Yeah. Ray got a 13.
Okay.
I got an 8.
Okay.
Calliope. Out of 5.
Ooh.
For what it's worth, I think Calliope would go last to like kind of bring up the rear, hang out in
Velcora
Big Dummy.
makes sense. Velcora got a 15.
Well, just showing us up.
We are not a stealthy group.
No.
We're not.
So
Remember
what,
that time when we did a heist?
So we have a 15, a 5,
I got a 5.
13,
And 8.
8, and Pip got an 11. I think Pip got an 11. Let me see. Because Pip doesn't have. Oh wait, Pip has a +1 in Dex. Pip got a 12? Okay. Okay. So you're going last, Calliope. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you gonna put Big Dummy away to climb up the rope? Because I'm trying to imagine how Big
I
Dummy.
would hella have to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like once everybody else gets up and is safe, it's like, okay, Big Dummy, time to go.
Okay. One by one, you each creep across the courtyard, and you do see as you get kind of out of this turret and into the more like open space on the side of this cathedral. There are a lot of bodies strewn about. You see some in full plate, but are just completely on, like collapsed down and lie dead. You do see a couple of fiendish bodies crumpled amongst the carnage as well. So it was not an entire slaughter here. But as you manage to creep across one by one, climbing up the side of the stone cathedral, Kadam, you hop up top there and are now on this big, wide balcony. You see Rhea come up behind you and leap down. Velcora pulls up quietly, drops down beside you. Lulu's fluttering up there. Pip goes right before you, Calliope, as she goes up. And right when she's at the top, as you're kind of anxiously waiting there, she gets over the side. Big Dovey folds up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's time for you to climb.
Sure is.
That's when you hear around the corner and you see a snout starting to appear about, we'll say, a good 40 feet away, like along the side of the building, and it kind of curves around and you see the snout of this creature sort of and then turn and look in your direction. So what do you do?
I let out a huge, just like breath, and I fly up into the air 30 feet, levitate.
You're gonna do levitate?
Yeah, I'm gonna cast.
How many times can you do that? Because you've done it once
So
before.
I used it once, and then I can start using spell slots for it. So this will be my second level spell slot.
That is awesome. Okay, as you, this is what I would like you to do though, because this creature does see you. You both see each other, and you're gonna do this. Let's just do a contested initiative roll to see if it can leap up to you before you dart off the ground.
16.
All right, let me get the stats for the good boy. Who's your good boy?
Come on.
Okay.
Come on. I'm fast.
Comes running towards you. Mouth starts to open right as you exhale your breath.
Yeah.
You go shooting up 30 feet right as this beast opens its mouth, and a gout of flame extends outward, and you feel the heat tickling your feet as you go shooting up and appear before Kadam, Pip, Rhea, all of your friends up top. You start pulling up the rope, anxiously pulling up the rope, and you hear below the snarls of this creature. and can see it sort of scratching at the stone as another one comes running around the side, looking up anxiously, and starts stalking, looking up at you all. As the rope gets pulled over the side, you see it, the bottom of it is like singed and smoking from the gout of flame. But you've managed to make it to the top, and these two beasts are just circling below angrily.
They've seen all of us.
I'll say they probably saw Calliope and Kadam, since you were pulling the rope. I think they at least they saw your hands, right, as you were like pulling it over the side.
And they don't seem to be going back inside to like report or anything.
They don't. No.
All right.
No, they seem to just be like fixated on this group of creatures up top.
You said that there's towers even further up. I'm thinking while I have the spell going, I guess I might as well check that out.
Okay, so you're gonna levitate
I think
another 50 feet up.
I think I'm going to check in with Kidam first. I'm like, okay, while I'm doing this, I can only do it so long. I think I might go check out that tower. I'll be back.
Okay.
Feel free to poke around and scream if you need help.
So as you float upwards, you can now very clearly see the destruction that was done to the backside of the high hall.
Move horizontally and not just up and down, I have to drag myself along objects and stuff. So this is me. Yeah, levitate only lets you go up and down, I think.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, I mean, easy enough. When you were at the level of Kadam and all them, you could have pulled yourself over, gone up the side. You get up to the top of the turret, and up at the top, you see there are a couple of slumped over bodies up here, sort of like one is over the side of the turret. It looks like they had, actually they're kind of broken backwards, almost like they had been pushed and fallen into the side of the turret here. But you can see the trapdoor that leads below is like shattered open, and you do know that going down into there, you would end up on a similar sort of stone spiral staircase that would go down into the cathedral itself.
Can I still see Kidam or anything?
I mean, you look over the back down where you came from, they're still there, unless Kadam, you were going to go somewhere else.
No,
Okay.
It seems like a bad idea.
I'm going to gesture, like, pointing down into the turret and then pointing at you going inside, and then, like, kind of bring my hands together, like, meet up.
Rhea turns to you, Kadam, and just goes, she's saying that we should rendezvous inside the temple.
I understand. I just don't like her being alone. And I will head inside. Well, I will look inside.
You go and turn to look inside, and you can see there are two doors that lead into the base of these turrets. So the balcony itself, kind of half moons out, half circle out, and then wall, and then there's like the half circle or quarter circle of the base of the turrets, and there's doors set in there. Those doors themselves are closed.
Oh. Well, then I will take a listen.
Go ahead and make a perception roll.
There we go. 21.
You carefully listen at the door. Oh, I'm sorry. I misspoke. There's just a set of double doors on the wall.
Okay.
So if I'm going to start talking in cardinal directions here, if the back of the cathedral is west, and the front of the cathedral is east, you're standing on the east side on the balcony, and you're looking towards the west at these two double doors. You go up to the double doors, take a listen with the 21. You hear a couple things. It is a cavernous space on the inside, you can tell, because there's kind of a lot of echoing from the sounds that are coming from within. You hear what sounds like coming from the north, very like periodically, as if this person is desperately trying to stay quiet, but you kind of hear the sound of somebody periodically like whimpering, and sort of like, and then you hear a, everything's gonna be fine. You're okay. Everything's gonna be fine. And then quiet. You also hear, harder to place where it's coming from, because it seems to be coming from deep within this like big cavernous space. This like sound of like clicking and clacking. This like as if like almost like many legs. The way the cadence is, it sounds organic, but like as if they were wearing like high heels or something, you know, like this loud clacking sound.
Mm-hmm. All right. And do I have to open both doors in order to get in here, or can I open one? Is there like a little door inside a big door?
These are two big doors. Two big double doors.
Mm-hmm. Can I tell if it's like you turn the handle and both open?
Right.
Out,
it looks like you could open one, right? There's a kind of like a lip, right? So that you could open this one and it would just be the one door.
I will try the door handle quietly.
It is locked.
Oh, Pip.
Oh, right, Kadam. Sure. I'll give it a try. Can you give me that little boost of yours?
Absolutely, and I will squeeze her shoulder and cast guidance.
Excellent. So I see she has a +1 in her dex. If she has the same sort of thieves' tools thing, that's a +7 to this roll with a d4. Here we go. I rolled an 8.
Oh shit, we could have done the D4 instead of me spending my flash of genius that last time.
Well,
I
it would have
can't.
had to have been
Not a
4.
reaction
Yeah,
for me.
Yeah.
8 plus 7 is a, oh my god, 15?
16.
16? Thank you. No wait, 8 plus 8 is 16. Right?
Wait, oh, I thought you said 9 plus 7.
No, 8 plus 7 is a
Okay,
15.
yeah, 15. You're good.
It's 15.
Plus a 1, so that is a 16.
See, told you.
Yeah, you were right. She spends about a minute there trying to unlock this. In the meantime, Calliope, are you going down the stairs?
Yes.
Okay.
Trying to be all quiet like.
I'm gonna assume that you're going down the southern tower, because that's kind of how I pictured this whole thing going on. If you would have come up from that side. So going down the stairs, this is a very big, massive defensive structure, and you it's like easily, geez, it is really wide. It is like.
I'm hoping it's also easy to be quiet because I don't have any footsteps right now.
Oh yeah, you're just floating down. Yeah. This
Yeah.
is like a 50-foot wide tower that you're going down. As you gently float down, you, without even needing to make a perception roll, you start to hear that sound of all the clicking and clacking. I would like you to make a perception roll for me, though, as you drift.
Love to do it. 23.
You hear just below you, as you're kind of going down this spiral staircase, you hear this like gibbering sound of like voices, just kind of like shut up, of multiple voices, and then you hear another voice respond in Infernal. This voice goes, "Shut up, the lot of you. Keep looking. I can smell one close." And as you look over the side of the spiral stone staircase, you can see at the bottom where there are arrow slits poking out into the courtyard below. There are a few more bodies strewn about. You see a couple of devil bodies slumped into the sides, and kind of pulling the bodies apart, like pulling them aside to peek under them and pushing over big crates and barrels of supplies. You see what look to just be humans, but they kind of have tattered clothing, and as one of them turns around, you can see that they're twitching and sort of like incoherently gibbering something under their breath, and then periodically laughing to themselves. And there are 3 of these individuals. And fluttering in the middle of this room, sort of overseeing them searching, is one of those purple spined devils that's just kind of looking about. So that is what you see below you. There are 3 what appear to be humans and this 1 spine devil, and we'll say you're about 20 feet above them, going down this spiraled staircase.
I would like to try to see if the doors are open to the balcony.
So you can see, as
yeah?
you kind of look to the north, you can see a big, massive stone archway that leads out into what you know to be the interior balcony that's above the grand foyer of the cathedral. And as you look through that stone archway, you know that just on the other side, like to your right, it's just out of sight, the 2 double doors that lead inside are just there. You also see one of the most amazing pieces of kind of construction and engineering and artistry, this beautiful pipe organ that is absolutely massive, that is rising above the grand foyer of the cathedral.
Can I stay out of sight along, like, in the rafters or something?
Yeah, you could try. Go ahead and make a stealth roll with advantage, since you are
okay.
floating and you're not actually, like, touching anything, or, you have that advantage.
I have a bad feeling about this. I have such a bad feeling.
Well,
23.
23?
Oh, no. That's total. 14.
14. Okay.
Hi.
Nice. Okay. Gently
Nice
floating.
for you,
You push off and just glide about 20 feet above this little spine devil. And they look in the direction you just floated from. And we see from below the creature sort of looking in that direction, Calliope just gently floating overhead. Calliope, you get to the other side and are able to kind of pull yourself down and up and under and get into the balcony that overlooks the grand foyer, and you can see the set of double doors in front of you. You hear the chittering and laughing behind you sort of receding a bit, but they seem to be finishing up whatever they're doing in there. So you suspect you don't have much time. What do you do?
Unlock those doors, baby.
Okay, so you pull yourself down, drift down to the side of the doors, and easy enough. Kadam, right as this minute is up, Pip goes, I just can't get it. And the door starts to open, or it opens outwards towards you, and you see Calliope standing there, and then Pip goes, as I was saying, I'm just remarkable. I was able to open it like no problem. And she puts the thieves' tools away into her boots of holding.
I'll quietly relay what I see. They're looking for something. I think they're close.
Yeah, I think they're looking for the person who I've been hearing whispering. Can I see a person who might be whispering?
Let me send you all to the map so you can get.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time picturing this at this point.
Yeah, let me get you all on the map so you can start understanding what you're seeing. This will make it a lot simpler. Excuse me. Hold on, I gotta grab y'all's tokens.
I'm gonna make eye contact, or as best eye contact as I can, with Gilder. And be like, we're not so different, you and I.
All right. So, let me send y'all over. Okay. And let me open the doors. So, Calliope, you are just on the other side here. You've just let open the door to let them all in. All of you are out here on the balcony. Let me get Velcora. And Kadam. So you heard the kind of whimpering and whispering coming from this direction to the north. Calliope, you just came from this direction to the south.
Okay.
Directly in front of all of you here, these like circles and strange looking markings here, that is the pipe organ. It is absolutely massive.
Okay.
So what do you all do?
Head inside, and I would like to go to the right.
Okay. Calliope, are you gonna follow them?
Well, I thought I had more information, but apparently Kidan knows what's up, so I'm just gonna follow Kidan.
Okay.
As you should.
All of you make. I know. Sorry, Calliope. You just did this. All of you make stealth rolls for me with advantage, pushing into the north side. As you step inside this room, you all hear the clicking and clacking coming from below, somewhere deeper within the cathedral, and you are starting to hear that like gibbering and laughing coming from the south. What did you get, Kadam?
A 21.
Nice. And what about for
6.
Rhea? 6. Okay. With advantage?
Oh, no.
But she is wearing heavy armor, right? So it'd be.
Oh yeah, she is. So 6.
6. Okay.
16 for Calliope.
16. Okay. Let's see what Pip gets. Pip got 10. Okay. So sorry, we got a 16 for Calliope, a 19 for Velcora, and a 21 for Kadam.
This is the quietest I've ever been in my entire life.
Okay. Thankfully, you all push very quietly northward and do not alert whatever those creatures are to the south. You do not alert them. As you come into this other tower, quietly pushing around the side, that whimpering becomes a bit louder, and as you come around the side, you see there is just debris strewn throughout this room, and some more weaponed racks that are pushed over to the side, some boxes of supplies, and you manage to catch a little bit of movement as this individual in here sees you enter the room and sort of like ducks off to the side. It looked to be a human, some human of some kind. Push off and hide behind one of these boxes, and that whimpering suddenly stops. And you, Kadam, just hear like the heavy, panicked breathing.
If there is someone in here who does not want to be found by devils, we aren't devils. I do not believe we pose any harm to anyone who might be in here.
I'm a Hell Rider.
You are indeed a Hell Rider.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I am. Sure am.
You have ridden in hell.
Kadam, make a persuasion roll for me with advantage.
Nat 20, 27.
Hell yeah. The panicked breathing and what you started to pick up more of those kind of repeated phrases. It's okay. Everything's gonna be fine. It's okay. As you're speaking, Kadam, you hear the breathing sort of slow, and then when that term Hell Rider is thrown out, the breathing kind of settles and the speaking stops, and then you watch as a very young man kind of peers over the side, wide-eyed, looking at you all. Calliope, you can see the tattered uniform of a Hell Rider guard, the lowest ranking hoof of the Hell Riders, and this individual just kind of shakily stands up, very pale and frightened as they look over you all. Oh,
Hi.
thank the gods. And they kind of scurry out from the cover they were behind and come running towards you all, sort of skidding it to a stop in front of you all. have you pushed them back? Were you successful? Kind of seeing you, Calliope, and Rhea starts to address the both of you, and then looks to you, Kadam.
Hey.
No.
You're taking
Oh.
it. Get out.
Oh,
You're a people person.
I am. I love people. Hi, my name is Kedama Baldur's Gate. We just got here and have been kind of sneaking about. So I don't think anyone knows that we're here except for a couple of dogs out at the front. What's your name?
My name is Trevik.
Trevik.
You've just arrived, so you've come from within the city. Survivors. Good.
No, we just come from the material plane.
And Valcora kind of steps forward. Yeah, I know it's a lot to take in, but just trust me, they seem very capable. Oh, all right. Good. What are you doing here?
Well, we're trying to get Elturel back to the material plane where it belongs.
Okay. Good. Good.
We're looking for Gideon Lightwood. I don't suppose you've heard of where he might be?
I believe he was in I don't know, I think that the Grand Cemetery is where he was last. Raven Olderguard took a contingent of
Oldar Ravengard?
Right, Older Ravengard. Yes, headed for this great cemetery looking for Gideon. I don't know, quite some time ago. Maybe a day ago. And then we were attacked. Older Ravengard has been helping us lead the defenses. Everyone's dead. Everyone was killed in the initial calamity, and Older Ravengard was the only one. It seemed to step forward and just take control of the situation. We made a defense here, and
Nathan.
Yeah.
That doesn't sit right, does it?
So, right, because when you reached out to Older Ravengard, you got the static and the screams.
Yes.
Um,
And I did succeed on reaching him, like, through the planes.
Yes. So, I meant to talk with you about this.
Oh no!
Hey, look,
forgot
it's
to.
top of the hour.
It is top of the hour. This is what I'm going to say as we end the stream here. As you're sitting there thinking on that, Kadam, and yes, it doesn't feel right. You just got the sound of screaming and static. The only thing that maybe possibly happened is that due to the immense trauma of this event, with so many souls being dragged into hell all at once, there must have been some kind of interference. Or there could be something worse happening. Maybe what he's talking about, this Older Ravengard, isn't actually Older Ravengard.
Well, that's my first thought.
Yeah. And we'll have to find out next time. We're going to end there, and we'll see what happens next time. I will say in this last moment, as you're having that thought, Calliope, you hear from behind you that small devil go, I don't think they're in here. Let's check one of the other rooms. And that is where we will end tonight's episode. All right. Thank you all for joining us. There we are. I accidentally sent us to the closing screen. And I also just sent us to the wrong screen. Now we're on the right screen. All right. We'll see you all next time. Thank you for joining us this evening. My mic was off over there. And yeah, Have a lovely evening.
Goodbye.
Bye.
night.
And
Wait,
now I'm
how
gonna go
long
to
was
the
your
court.
mic off?